Hello and welcome to Let's Talk Sport on YouTube. And today we're going to bring you the preview of Wales versus Switzerland. Wales, and sadly, are not going to have to do what England and Scotland can do, which is playing near their home nations. No, for some reason, UEFA thought it was okay to send Wales to Baku in Azerbaijan. And the tickets are so cheap, it's pretty much 30, 40 euros I've seen online, which is basically saying, yeah, there's your ticket. Now, good luck trying to get there and coming back while we're living in a pandemic world. I'm delighted to be joined by Rhian Cleverly, who is the captain of the Lewes FC team, the women's team in the FA Championship. Rhian, after getting it all mixed up, I finally go on to your team at the Euros after I thought you were English. So I think I deserve a slap on the hand there.
Yeah, as soon as you hear the accent, then it makes it quite clear. But yeah, let's talk Wales. Let's talk about the team of the tournament.
So, I mean, 5 years ago, I can't believe it's been 5 years since Euro 2016. What are your memories from that, reaching the semi-finals?
Yeah, actually, some really good memories. I think I was working in a call centre for my family at the time,
All
and
right.
demanding the day off work because Wales obviously progressing a lot more in the tournament than we originally thought. But
Mm.
yeah, mad celebrations. I think it was the first time that I can remember, like, just people that weren't football fans really getting in and joining the celebrations and really backing the team. So I think it's done a lot for the nation. And yeah, whether we can consider ourselves a football nation and compete with teams like England now, hopefully we'll see over the next couple of weeks.
I mean, the funniest thing I ever saw, and they showed it again the other day, was Robbie Savage and John Hartson. I think Robbie Savage was really drunk. This was on the night when they beat Belgium.
Yeah.
And they interviewed Robbie Savage like an hour after the game. And he said, well, me and John have got holidays booked this week for our families. Have you met my wife? How do I tell her that we can't go to Barbados now because Wales are in the semis?
Especially, I think some of the Welsh players had like weddings booked and stuff like that. They actually saw, like, they didn't really like expect to get that far either. But yeah, that Belgium game, I could talk about that all day, and just obviously great memories of Robson. So yeah, hopefully we can relive that and do it all again.
I was going to say how Robson Kanu's goal keeps getting showed this week.
Yeah.
The what a turn, what a goal.
Yeah.
Can you do that?
I'm not sure. He didn't even have a club at the time, so
No.
yeah, it's just mad. But yeah, I think now one of the midfielders has just been released by Cardiff, and he's trying to do the same. So yeah, it'll be a good tournament for them.
Wales versus Switzerland, the first game. Switzerland they're quite an experienced team in a way where they've always made it to the Euros at least, and they were actually hosts back in 2008. I mean, for Wales, like, this team looks very different, a bit, let's say, a bit younger. But, you know, when you've got the leadership still of Gareth Bale, Joe Allen, and Aaron Ramsey in there, I mean, Gareth Bale hasn't had an easy season, but when you look at having those three still in the squad, to me, that's really important.
Yeah, definitely. I think obviously there's no denying. I think a half-fit Gareth Bale is getting into that squad and into that starting 11. And I think any team that comes against him knows that he can do some damage, whether it's dribbling past players or set pieces. And then you've got some youngsters who come into really well too. So I think it's going to be exciting. And as I said, I don't think that they maybe have the pressure that England have to do well. So I think that could always be exciting and kind of work in our favour. I think Wales is like to be the underdogs, and yeah, and who knows, we might be the surprise package and do well again. So yeah,
I think, I mean, I mean, looking at the team in front of me as well, I mean, there's still that thing for me where I look at both goalkeepers, you know, Wayne Hennessy and Danny Ward. Danny Ward played in that first game at the Euros because Wayne Hennessy was injured, I think.
yeah,
So Danny Ward, with so much more experience now, just shows what the Euros can do for them from the
yeah.
past.
I think as I said, you just get players that you don't really expect, or they just step up. And I think that psychological side again that we discussed and is huge. And hopefully there'll be a couple of names that maybe get big during the tournament and have some clubs after them afterwards. But yeah, it should be good. Can't wait. I'm really excited.
um, Switzerland, Turkey, and Italy. Not an easy group, is it? When you look at it, Italy probably you'd think were the favourites, wouldn't you?
Yeah, 100%. But I do think it's one of the groups that we can do well in, that we can progress. I think looking at like the England group is a lot more difficult. So I think, yeah, I'm optimistic about it. So yeah, who knows? We get a result in one of the first game, and then it's all to play for. And as you said, we've got talent in that squad. We can do some damage, and yeah.
I mean, I know you're not traveling to see the games, but do you think there's a bit of a problem there where, pandemic world, let's send them to Baku, let's make them travel all the way there. It does seem a bit odd. I do feel sorry for the Wales fans if there was any chance of seeing Wales this summer for most of the games to be on the other side of Europe.
Yeah, and I think Wales as a nation, I think we always see the positive side in it, and I think they'll add
They
that to
do. You're
they'll,
right.
they'll add that to the determination, and they'll find a way together. Even if, I think Wales fans are mad, and yeah, they'll celebrate somehow. And I think yeah, it's just been a difficult couple of months for the Welsh squad, obviously with the change of coach and everything as well. So yeah, who knows? With a couple of setbacks and things looking against us, maybe we can turn it around and be a surprise package for everyone.
I mean, with the change of coach, of course, with Ryan Giggs having to step down with what's going on there.
Yeah.
I mean, you've played for teams. What's it like when you play under a new coach? Has there been a time for you when you've had a new coach come in, and then it's kind of like straight away you've got to figure out what their style is, or how does it all work out when you've got something like that happening?
Yeah, I think it's always changes are kind of uncomfortable because you don't know whether it's going to be for the better or worse. And I think everyone's just trying to find their role. And even the manager, the coach, is probably trying to see how the players react to him too. At obviously such a pivotal time in the season. But yeah, I think maybe there's less expectations. He's had less time to prepare with them, but they seem to be doing well. I think there's a good bunch, as you said. They've got some experience in the likes of Gareth Bale. I know obviously Ashley Williams isn't there anymore, and he's been huge for us in the past. But yeah, I think they can't really use that as an excuse. As we see in football, things change constantly. In Premier
Mm.
League clubs, you don't get results. The manager's gone, and I think quite often you see the motivation of players increase, and they know that there's a fresh start, it's a clean slate, and they can impress. And yeah, hopefully they do well, and it's a successful tournament for the boys.
What are your predictions for Gareth Bale? Because the one thing I loved about Bale at that last Euros was he really was playing for the badge, wasn't he? He could have been like, there's been loads of Welsh players that have ended up playing for England instead. Bale could have ended up being a free lines player. I'm not saying he would have chosen England at all, but there's always that family somewhere in the family where you can play for England or Wales. But what I loved about Bale at that last tournament was that it really is in his blood, isn't it? The Welsh dragon. And with his time at Real Madrid, that while he was in the Euros, it just showed what quality he really did bring to that team. Are you hoping the same again, or do you think maybe that won't be as good as it was because of the fact that he's got older, but also he's not been regularly playing for Spurs?
Yeah, obviously, I think it's weird. Every time he puts on that Welsh shirt, it's like he just comes alive. And I think
Yeah.
you've got the respect of the boys. I think from the looks of it, and doing research and stuff about the squad, and reading the news articles and the interviews, yeah, it's just like a group of boys on holiday or having fun. And I think they've obviously played with each other for years. A lot of them, they've got a good group, and they're friends as well as teammates. So I think they play for each other as well as the country. And yeah, we're. I think I'm biased, obviously, but they're a special bunch, and I think we've had a lot of negative publicity, especially in Spain. Obviously, I don't know him personally, but you see how he can be with the Welsh squad, and it's yeah, it's quite sad at times that he's obviously such a good player, and he's got that good personality in him, and maybe he hasn't felt that appreciated at such a big club, even though he has performed with them at times in Champions League finals and in the league. I think even at Spurs, obviously, he said it's been a difficult year, but even towards the end of the season, then I think the last game of the season, he showed his class again, and this day, I think you can't lose that. So
Mm.
yeah, I think it's all set for him, and I think you can do it for anyone. It's for Wales, and it maybe sounds like he might be retiring after this. I think he said that there might be an announcement after the tournament. So we'll see. Maybe he's going to go out with a bang, and yeah, who knows? Euro final would definitely be something special to remember.
At Wembley as well, eh? Against England, as you said, Wales-England final. I mean, if you get that right, I wish I would have put a bet on it, but might be time for me to still do that.
Yeah, yeah. Exactly.
I mean, this is the thing with Gareth Bale, because, like, I don't understand the criticism. I don't understand, like, the hate from some people. Like, Real Madrid fans have had problems with him in the past. And I just think, like, I remember in 2014, he won the Champions League winning goal. In that same year, he won the Copa del Rey winning goal against their biggest rivals, Barcelona. Then 2018, he came on from the bench and scored that absolute blinder of a bicycle kick, along with another goal in that final. And yet, if he had one bad game, Real Madrid fans had attacked his car in the car park. It's just like, well, he's done more than most players ever have done at Real Madrid, yet there's still that disrespect to him. And I'm quite glad, to tell you the truth, I'm quite glad he's not at Real Madrid at the moment, because I think he should be at a club like Spurs, where they clearly adore him the most for what he's done for the club. So I really hope he can nail it in this tournament. I think Gareth Bale's a great story for Wales, but also you look at Aaron Ramsey as well. What a player he's become. Because of what he did at the Euros, he's been at Juventus in the past, and sadly for Joe Allen, I'm amazed he's not even a Premier League player these days.
Yeah, I'm obviously biased. I'm an Arsenal fan, so I've got a double connection for Aaron Ramsey. I think he's class, and how we let him go to Juventus from Arsenal, I'll
Was it for free?
Yeah, I'm still not over it. Let's not talk about it. But yeah, I think maybe Gareth Bale didn't help himself. I think he had a guts full of the criticism, and I think that photo, the flag that, like, Wales, golf, Madrid.
That was brilliant.
Yeah. At that point, you just had too much, and the fans are never going to react well once you put something like that up. But I think it's just hard. I think playing abroad, personally, like in France, I think it's hard. It's a different language, different culture. Maybe like the values and stuff are different. So I know it's hard at times, and maybe felt a bit homesick. I don't know, but we definitely love him at Wales. So hopefully it works both ways, and he can play the favour.
Final predictions then for this Switzerland game. Then what are you thinking? Because that opening game in the last tournament, I think it was Slovakia, first time at a major tournament since the 50s. They took it with a bang. Can they do it this time?
Yeah, 5-0 Wales. Really confident.
Oh yeah, I was going to say 6, but yeah, I'll go with 5.
No, I think if I've got my Welsh hat on, then I'd like to say like a 2-1 or 1-0 Wales. But realistically, maybe a draw, and hopefully we can build from there. But yeah, it would be lovely to get the result in the first game, and then it's all to play for, isn't it? So
absolutely.